You don't sit on the finance committee as what you see on the board. You don't sit on the finance committee.
Generally not. Finance.
Yeah.
I can't understand the reports they put out there, so complicated.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Evan about this, and you're really dumb me down a little bit, so I can understand it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. Yeah, you know, we did Grant the other day and he just threw some numbers. I don't know. Where.
But he said he was gonna do that. I'm hopeful there's supposed to be something new to see from on Wednesday.
All right.
Because the way they are now, they have a different.
Right.
Things go on.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
You know, I want to know, do we make money or lose money? If we lost it,
Where, what? Yeah,
That's what I
and
want.
what do we do? Yeah, and where do we?
At my level at the board, I don't care about all that little stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 1 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. Jeanette, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Sid Williams,
Present?
Bobby Merritt,
Present.
Juan Lopez. Absent, Kevin Dayton,
Here.
Stephen Macias,
Present.
Christine Wing,
Wingy here.
that's via teleconference.
Yes. So we have a forum there, correct?
We do have a quorum,
Okay.
and a point of order, Chair, just so you do know, you have an action item, which is approving the minutes tonight. Unfortunately, because of the way that the Measure Q meetings are so formulated, Ms. Wing will be recorded as absent for that item.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, then, so we shall begin. Now is the time for public comment on any an item not on the agenda for today. Is there anyone present in the room or online as a member of the public who wishes to comment? Seeing none, we'll dispense with public comment. Moving to the consent agenda. Are there any people of the public online or in the conference room that have comments to the consent agenda items? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and do the consent agenda then. So I will accept a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Macias. A second. Kevin is a second. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes as presented? Seeing none. Then all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nay has the same right. The ones pass. The next item on the consent agenda then is to receive the board appointment minute or map, not minutes, but the board appointment list here. Jeanette, were you or Lisa going to talk to that, or do we just want to acknowledge and move along? Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll do it that way. So everybody sees who they're representing and sees when their terms of expiration are. Keeping in mind that you're required to do ethics every couple of years. And so if you're getting close to that, you need to either plan to attend or plan to find an online source for that right now. So does anyone disagree with anything they see on the chart that's in this thing?
I guess the only question would be, what are the efforts going on to bring in the fill the vacancy for non-urbanized South County
Yeah, that's
students?
a tough one down there. It's so far up here for the meetings. That's hard to find somebody willing to drive up here, but we should, I have a thought on that I'm going to try and address at the next United Veterans Council meeting. So perhaps we'll be able to attend somebody from that. I will try.
And I would like to mention too, that we had reached out to our Board of Supervisors Representative Chris Lopez, and he will be conducting some outreach.
Oh,
there.
great, great. Thank you. All right, so any other questions on this chart? All right, seeing none, I don't believe we have to do anything about that except acknowledge that we know what's going on.
And
So-
Chair, if I may, as a reminder, you did a great job of reminding our committee members with regard to their ethics training. We do have a reminder as well for your Form
Form
700.
700, that's
I know
correct.
that I had received some forms, but if we can have, I know that Christine, if you can turn yours in as well. Anybody who's appointed by the board on any of our committees are required. Turn those in. Thank you.
Okay. So then we're gonna go on to action items. So is there any member of the public present or online who wishes to comment on action item 4-1, which is the review of the Measure Q revenues and expenses? Seeing none, Lisa, would you do your thing there?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the reappointed members, congratulations. Another 3 years with us. So that's great. So every spring, we come to this committee to review the audit from the previous year. And then in August, we'll come to you with a report on what the board adopts for budget for the Measure Q sales tax that was passed in 2014. And that measure ends after 10 years. So fair warning, we'll be talking about this a little bit more later on to potentially extend the sales tax measure past the 10 years. It's been absolutely critical for us in terms of supporting our mobility programs for our community. You can see on the staff report some of the items that we support with the approximately $10 to $13 million we get annually, including the Rides ADA paratransit service. Those are the smaller buses that go door to door for folks that are not able to get to our fixed route service. So we pick them up and take them where they need to go. Most of that is to dialysis appointments here in the county, as well as medical appointments, shopping, errands, wherever they need to go, including adult daycare. We also support our taxi voucher program for seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans, where we will subsidize a taxi trip if people so need. It helps to extend the service of our ADA paratransit program, our rides program. We also introduced a special trips was the following one. We've had special medical trips for quite some time, and that's on a reservation basis to get up to some of the critical medical services up in the Bay Area, including Palo Alto, San Francisco, and Santa Clara. The TRIPS program was introduced a few years ago. It's a travel reimbursement for people who are seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans who are outside of our fixed route and ride service. So they can ask a friend to help drive them to whatever appointment or something that they need to do, and MST will reimburse them for that trip on a per mileage basis based on what the IRS mileage rate is. We also support our Navigator program. These are volunteers who help others ride MST services by answering questions, getting on board. They get a monthly bus pass, so it works out really well. Senior and veteran shuttles and fixed route. We have a number of senior focused shuttles. The 90s series lines are senior focused. In other words, we plan those routes to meet needs of like senior care facilities and what have you, including also the line 61, which is a veteran focused shuttle that goes from Salinas into the VA DOD clinic. We also support some of the fixed route service. We know that 12.9% of our fixed route passengers from past surveys, from in-person passenger surveys, are over the age of 65. And we support their services on the fixed route, as well as our entire mobility department. And they are the folks that help travel train, they help certify people to be able to access the rides program. We have an indoor training center over in Salinas that helps people navigate through our fixed route system. So we're trying to get people to use our fixed route system more. It's more efficient, but for those who can't and are not able to, we're able to help them through our other programs. So those are the things that we fund with the Measure Q sales tax revenues. And you can see from the supporting documentation that I've provided that our audit is clean. And we use the Measure Q funding to support all of those services. And you also have a letter in the back for your chair to sign to the MST Board of Directors, noting that MST has used the funds in the manner in which they were originally intended through Measure Q. And so the only ask that we have for you today is to let your chair sign that and present it to, well, not present it, give it to our Board of Directors. So with that, I'll stop, and there are folks here also that can answer specific questions about our mobility programs.
Okay. Thanks,
I'll stop.
Lisa. Are there any board members that have questions about this program or the presentation that Lisa gave us?
Yes, you
Hello?
mentioned for the MST rides ADA paratransit, something that wasn't mentioned in the report. What percentage of those rides are for dialysis?
40%?
40%?
Yes. It's a huge demand in our county.
Yeah, I
for
didn't
sure.
realize that.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think it's unlike other counties, but it is a big demand.
Anything else, Kevin?
No,
Okay. Anyone else have a question? Lisa, I did have one question. Underneath the special medical trips category, we have Palo Alto listed. Does that include the clinic that's over in Menlo Park?
Yeah.
Yes. It will go to either the hospital itself or over to Menlo Park. Okay, thank you. Okay. No one has further question? Then I will accept the motion to allow me to sign the letter attached to attachment 3.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, so Bobby, and then Kevin. Okay, any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by aye. Aye. Nay has the same right. Seeing none, passes unanimously. Where are we? Okay. So then we'll reach the end of this agenda. As usual, I will afford each of you an opportunity if you have something you think that the rest of the committee should hear.
Yes, I do have something
Go ahead,
to
Kevin.
report. I'm also on the TAMC Transportation Agency for Monterey County Measure X Oversight Committee. And I was on the Senior and Disabled Transportation Grant Review Committee that interviewed various applicants for funding recommendations. Just want to let you know that in all those interviews, I asked what kind of money was being provided to them from Measure Q, because I think we have to always be conscious that there could be duplication or redundancy in these funds. And some of the applicants did say that they had money coming in from Measure Q. And just we need to continue to be aware that there's a bit of overlap in the roles of the two agencies in giving this money.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well then, seeing no further items on the agenda and no further comments from the mission for the committee, then I will declare we are adjourned. I hate these long meetings now. Oh, one thing, just please note on your staff report of today, when the next meeting is scheduled for. So we can plan your calendar accordingly.
Oh, it is here. It's next meeting scheduled for August 21st.